5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hey, we are back again on something like that with NAV, and this is the dude. Today's guest, well, he comes from the northern region. He has been in the scene for a very long time. You might have known him from the ever popular back in the days, the band from the 90s all the way to 2000 something North Side. But right now, he is out with a brand new single called QHAPLA JINGGA. That's right. It's a mysterious word indeed. Two words that has been boggling the minds of many Malaysians, especially. And if you're out of Malaysia and you're wondering what does that mean, we're going to find out a bit from now. In the meantime, hello, dude. VixStaRR. Vic, aka VixStaRR. How you doing, brother? All good?
I'm doing great. Yep.
Yeah, nice to hear you, man. It's nice to hear you. Nice to see you. It's been quite a while. Actually, come to think of it, this is the very first time you're going on face to face, right?
Actually, we have met face to face.
Oh, we have met face to face, but I mean, in a formal, professional level of interviews and so on. Have we? None.
Yes. Well, again, do you know who did the interview the last time when we were in FO?
I think it was with Vandal, right?
Was probably with Wendell then. Yeah.
Yeah, I was pretty much producing the whole thing. So I think it was with Vandal back in the day. But anyway, it's good to see you, man. Finally, I get a chance to pick your brain a little bit, and I must congratulate you with your brand new track, QHAPLA JINGGA. Finally, it's out. It's good to see you back behind the studios. And
Yep.
I'm guessing you have a very unique studio based on your Facebook post. It's not one of those conventional radios, right? Studios, right?
No, it's a complete bedroom studio, and the story behind it is that I totally got back into making music and doing recordings and stuff, and so my wife she saw that I was absolutely interested in it, and this was actually the kids' playroom, and we pack the kids up and we send them upstairs to their own room. And
Okay, lucky you said up to their own room instead of send them out of the house, man.
that happens after 18. So
Okay, pack them,
yeah,
lah.
yeah.
Well, so what? Did the kids get a promotion, a better place to live in, or is this back to the storeroom or something like that?
No, I mean, I think it's a better room. It's a room with probably a better view as compared
Oh,
to this one. Yeah, so they got a room
nice to
with
know
a
kids
view.
got room these days. Like when I was growing up, I had to share with everybody on the planet, man.
Yeah, at least you could. I had the couch. That was my, that was my room growing up. Yeah.
Oh man, hey dude, seriously, it's good to have you on back on the machine, beat making machines and recording and so on. But the question is, what made you come back, man?
Right. So this whole MCO thing, it was kind of, I was working from home. I have a day job, so primarily working from home, and I was not going out anywhere and stuff. So I decided, I got myself a personal laptop because I thought of playing games. I got myself a
Nice.
nice gaming laptop, and I thought I'll do music on the side, kind of thing. And it so happened that when I installed the DAW, the music making software, the desktop audio workstation. So that's a DAW anyway. I started to get more and more into it. I started to experiment with more samples, with more synthesizers and all those stuff. And I got so into it that, I started making beats again, and
Ooh.
music is like a drug, it's kind of like, yeah, you stay away from it, but, and you're okay. But once you get a hold of it, again, you're addicted, right?
Yeah, you gotta get
So,
back,
so
man.
yeah, music is definitely my drug. So as soon as I did that, I said, okay, you know what? Maybe I should put a song out. And as I was working on the track, at times I got a little bit lazy and stuff until I put up a post on Facebook somewhere around the 14th, 15th of November. I said, look, guys, I'm planning to put out a track. I don't know how's it going to sound. It might sound dated and things like that. So if I get 100 likes, I'll put the song out. And so happened that I got more than 100, and once that happened, I felt obligated to actually
Now
put the
you can't
track
you
out
can't
because
back out of this way. You got 100 people
no,
saying that I
no,
want my music. I clicked on that like.
exactly,
My like is like a
exactly,
thousand bucks.
absolutely. So I was like, what? Now I owe an explanation, or I owe something to these people. right? And so I fast tracked working on the track, and within that 1 month, I had to teach myself recording. I mean, which was okay. I've done it before, but not at this level. I had to teach myself mixing. I had to teach myself mastering. Again, mastering is not something that is very easy to claim that you know how to do, and in fact, there's more for me to learn, and I think the audio engineers out there, of course, they do an amazing job, and I don't know from an audio engineer perspective how well my song turned out, but the reception has been good for the general public. But again, there's still a lot more for me to learn when it comes to this field, right?
Well, good
So
news is this.
yeah,
Good news is you managed to save costs. Bad news is some engineer out there just lost one job
well,
during
in
these
no
times,
way,
actually.
yeah, in no way I can rival these folks, because
Yeah, but when you said you had a
tough job.
self-learn, what, you went on YouTube or something like that?
Yeah, so everything was on YouTube, and the problem, or rather the challenge with me, is that I'm a type of person who's not very patient. So, and these YouTube videos, uh, they talk too much, right? I'm
Yeah.
like, dude, get to the point.
Yeah.
But then again, I found one or two channels that really did a good job and explained it pretty well, and not too much of a rubbish talk kind of thing. And actually learned, and especially when it came to mastering, how do you monitor the levels and stuff like that, and then you talk about if you want radio airplay, what do you do, if you want to put it on platforms, what do you do and stuff, what are the levels and things like that, and how do you monitor. So all the stuff I learned fully from YouTube.
Actually, it's a good thing also. I think most artists should pick that up because, I mean, of course, you will give it to an audio engineer at some point of time, but it is good to know what is the science behind the whole mastering thingy. So at least you have an idea when the engineer actually messes you up or rather yells at you saying that, no, I need it like that, I need it like that. So you have an idea pretty much.
There's a newfound respect for audio engineers because when I did my own stuff, and I know in the past audio engineers have made a comment that, Vic, your vocals is difficult, and now I know why, because I have this the way I record is I usually layer my vocals, so I record the same verse like perhaps 2 or 3 layers, and when you do that, most likely the second time, third time you record, you're not going to be exactly on point. So what happens is you need to cut the wave file and arrange it to the initial vocal, right? And when I say you need to cut them, I'm not talking word by word. I'm talking syllable by syllable almost.
How? Whoa.
So
That is
and
too
you got this-
precise.
yeah. So and you got to put it together so that when you listen to it, it doesn't sound like multiple layers, but it just sounds nice and wide. And you got that nice crisp sound to it. So, and for the audio engineers to do that with my vocals, they must have had super amount of patience.
So
for
now
the-
you know why the invoice was that high, lah. And speaking of which, you might want to push your
yeah.
microphone a little closer to you so I can hear a little louder since we don't have
Okay.
layering going on.
Let me move
Okay,
closer
but
to it.
okay,
Okay,
much better
yeah.
this way. Okay, but anyway, speaking of music, this since to all the musicians out there, future musicians, please pay close attention. If you have to go on YouTube and learn about this, please do. So at least you have an idea of what the sound engineer goes through and why the bill is such. Why do they charge that much? Because there's a lot of work, man. I was talking to Madan a while back, and I have no idea about recording. I have no idea about singing or playing any instruments. But the way he gave me a sneak peek on what's a life of an audio engineer is all about, and a recording process is like, wow, it's simply amazing, man. It's ridiculously crazy. But your track came out pretty cool, man. One of the tracks that, like I mentioned before, like I'm a fan of hip hop. I like rap music all the way from the 80s, even from the 70s, a glimpse of it, 90s, 2000s. I'm a bit of the old school boom bap, or whatever you want to call it, and some of the purist stuff. I used to enjoy those kind of things. And another thing I realized that what I enjoyed about your song was it had its own identity. In terms of music, first things first, you had the synthesizers going on at the very start of the song itself, and that brought in a bit of 80s feel, the 80s vibe. into the 90s beat and bringing it into the 2000s. So it's like three generations of feel, or rather vibration, in one particular track. So you had the synth. Why use that 80s feel on this track?
Well, although I grew up in the 90s, right? I mean, most part, right? Because in the 80s, I was like, of course, between 1 to 8 years old. That was 89. I was about 8. So anyway, but then again, my sisters, they were much older than I was. So, the influence of music, because they were listening to all these tracks. We're talking about AHA. We're talking about what groups are they? Human League and Men at Work and all these groups, right? And those music, even until today, when I listen to it, it gives me goosebumps because it's so nostalgic. And so I guess that influence sort of carried on. And when I listened to the synth that I put on this song, the first time I heard it, I was like, oh, damn, that's the one. I like this. And when I put it on there, I was like, yeah, this sounds just about right. And I just, when you have this music that you listen to and okay, this is the right one, this is the one I want to make my song with, or I want to put my vocals on this track. So that was the thing, that was the feel that I got with this song. And that's why, when I put out that post, I said, this song might sound dated. That's what I meant, because it's not your conventional track that you listen to now. It's not your commercial track that you listen to now with very much trap influence, a lot more popish. It sounds again 80s, or something that would have come out in the 90s, late 90s, early 2000s kind of thing.
But the thing is, for the newer generation of hip hop listeners, and for them, this might be considered something fresh, absolutely fresh. But infusing it with the new school and the old school together in one track, man, I love the vibes, man. This is where I miss playing in clubs. This is the kind of tracks that you want to bang into the clubs and just get the feel going on, an extended mix for this particular track. And another thing unique about this one, apart from when I was mentioning about identity, a lot of bands, a lot of rap groups, they have this so-called monotonous tone, monotonous style of going in. There's nothing wrong about it. It's nothing wrong. That's the trend that's going on these days. And the only problem is when you're too monotonous in the sounds of style of rapping, or maybe the verses that you use and the music, it becomes normal. But in your case, it brought in that Penang flavor into this particular song. Because if you listen to the lyrics, that words like habang and this and that, those are the languages used only by the people who understands the northern dialects. Like I'm from Perak, I could understand somewhat, a little bit, like I say, but 25% of whatever is Penang style going on. So why did you actually come up with that idea for this particular song?
Well, first of all, I'm a hardcore Penangite. I've been in Selangor for how many years now? 17 years, right? But, I still call myself a Penangite, still true to the state. I support the club, the football club and stuff. Go Panthers, Penang Panthers, Haria, Penang, Haria kind of thing. But, I guess, I grew up speaking with that accent, right? And using all the colloquial terms. The terms that I'm using on that track, honestly, is just, the tip of the iceberg of the actual accent, right? Or rather, it's almost like a dialect, I would say, because, it's on its own. You will not hear it anywhere else. Perhaps maybe in Kedah it gets thicker, and when you go up to Perlis, it gets even thicker than that, right? So Penang is kind of like the Goldilocks zone. And you can still understand it, but then it's still unique. So I decided to put it on this song because, maybe there are songs out there that have done it before. I think maybe I know of one, which was done for the Penang football team, by I think it's 3 guys. But I can't remember how much of the language or how much of the terms they used in it. But I wanted it to sound very, very Penangish, so I said, let's go ahead and do this. And I think this word will catch attention, QHAPLA JINGGA, right? When you say QHAPLA JINGGA,
of course.
Like, what the hell does that mean?
That is exactly one of the reasons why I invited you. One of the main reasons why I invited you is because I needed to solve that mystery, man. Like I said, I could have gone on Google, I could have asked any of my Penang friends, but no fun. I got to find out about it directly from you. Hapla, what Hapla Jinga? Even pronounce it Hapla. What
Yeah,
is it? What is it all about, man?
it's Rapla. So the
Rapla,
actual
okay,
spelling for
Rapla,
it,
okay.
yeah. So the actual spelling is Rapla, Jinga, Jingga, right? So the way we pronounce the R sound is it sounds Ra, you know, and that's how in Penang, right up to Perlis and all that, you hear people pronouncing the R tone like that. It's like when we say Oang,
Oh yeah,
Rapla
because
is
yeah, in Perak
Rapla.
also we pretty much do that. Hampa nak
Yeah.
pergi mana dan tak khabar apa-apa, those kind of
Uh,
things lah.
yeah. So and when we say I, whenever there's a R at the end instead, it
Ayak,
becomes an ak sound. So I becomes ayak,
ayak.
right? So yeah. So that's how Rapla Jinga is actually Rapla Jinga is actually Rapla. So you pronounce it. If you were here in the south, it's Rapla. You pronounce it as Rapla. And what it means, right? What it means is really about if someone is annoying you, or you're annoyed, or you're in sort of, I would say, your mind is in a mess, overwhelmed. That's when you would use the term rapla jingga, like alamak macam mana ni, aku rasa macam rapla jingga, and
It's like
in Penang
bingong
it's a
lah.
creative bingong lah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Ah,
or minda bercelaru or something like that. You just not can't think straight.
in
Kind
simple
of thing.
terms, in English, it's like a messed up head right now lah.
Yeah, exactly.
And the jinga?
Or messed up. Yeah, messed up state, or messed up situation as well.
Okay.
So jinga is just Penang is a creative word. It was rapla and then put the jinga right there. But
no meaning
also,
towards jinga.
no meaning towards jinga. But rapla alone can mean something else as well. Rapla can also mean jangan duk buat rapla dengan aku. That can mean don't jangan duk buat hal dengan saya, kind of thing, right?
Okay.
So yeah, but again, now rapla itself now may have, although it's a colloquial term, but it may have a deeper history. It may be an Arab word called gafla. Yeah.
Oh,
So
see, we
gafla
learned something new.
means, yeah. So gafla means chuai, basically callous, right? So it sort of ties into how we use the term rapla or rapla jinga or whatever.
Okay, so janganlah ngapal. I'm not going to attempt to say anything like that. But anyway, you just might want to step a little bit back from your microphone. I think this is a
Okay.
popping sound. But anyway, what is it all about? Because like to the certain extent, if I'm listening to the track, and it looks like you're actually firing somebody. Yeah, this it's not a diss track per se, but it sounds like you're actually targeting a specific group of people, a specific kind of people. Is that it?
Yeah, so basically the song is about no hate. Honestly, although the lyrics may sound different from it, but what I'm saying is, if you listen to the last, couple of sentence in the first verse, it really talks about hampa pandai main pisau bagai-bagai tapi nak sembunyi di sebalik tirai.
Tirai.
You know how to play with knives, and you know how to stab people, but you guys are hiding behind the curtains, right?
Oh, okay.
On stage, right? The stage curtains and stuff. You're basically backstabbing people, but in front of you, you're behaving like real. Oh, we're friends and stuff like that. So that happens in the industry,
Yeah.
because people say nice things about you, but behind you, they say absolute. They talk trash, basically, right? And then the second verse, we talk about being we don't want any hate in the industry, and let me do what I want to do, and don't tell me otherwise, because if someone is doing something different, let them, right, and cheer it on. Instead, don't hate, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right. So that is really what the second verse talks about, because that's where it talks about I briefly talked tua and hang jebat kind of thing. In the second verse as well. So it's really, there's a story to it.
Nice. Yeah, exactly. Now I have a much clearer picture because since the release of this particular track, I've been cracking my head big time. I'm so tempted to go on Google and start googling it, but then again, no way, man. I'm not going to do that. It's nicer to hear listen to it from you because sometimes when you just read things on Google, you never get the right message, man. Seem to get different interpretation of things,
Yep.
and different messages are being passed across. And well, this track is pretty nice, pretty fresh. I kind of like the whole feel to this track, man. And I'm pretty sure there's a video to it too. There's a lyrical video for that, which is available on YouTube, right?
Yeah, and that was probably well due because a lot of people, just as yourself, were like, "What is this word?" and "What is he saying?" And sometimes the rap can be a little bit. It's not really fast, but it might be a little bit difficult.
It was quite tricky because, if I was trying to figure that out. When the first time I listened to the track, I knew it was a Malay track, but then again, it's like, okay, this has the Penang feel in it. Unless you read the whole thing, that's where you'll understand it better. So thank you for the lyrical video. So at least I read the whole lyrics, I understood it much better, and had the feel towards it. But of course, I had a different interpretation for that song, and thanks to you now, I clearly understand. So there's a couple of others, or maybe a few hundred, a few thousand people who's been cracking their head trying to figure that out, man. QHAPLA JINGGA, man.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people might think it's a diss track, but it's actually contrary to that. It's actually talking about let's not have any beef. That's why, again, the second verse, the last couple of lines, it says, "Aku bukannya cari gaduh," janganlah musuh-musuh, aku bukannya cari gaduh. Tapi ingat, VixStar boleh basuh sampai lusuh, kasih gegak satu pentai, skala Richter 10. It may sound like, it's bashing someone. It's really not. It says, let's not be enemies because, we can keep on competing, right?
Yeah.
I can say things like, I can take on you and all that. And again, when we talk about gado and we talk about musuh and things, we're not.
Okay, just wait for a second. Okay, yeah, finally you're back in.
All right. Sorry.
So where were we again?
It was a network issue.
Yeah, it's
so I was talking about how the song may sound. Yeah, so can you hear me enough?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear now.
Okay. All right, great. So when you listen to the song, it kind of sounds like, I would go out there and harm someone physically, which is totally not the case. I'm absolutely far from harming people in any way. It's really talking
nice
about. We are talking. I'm definitely a nice guy, I hope. We are talking about lyrically. We're talking about when it comes to stage battles, right? Rap battles kind of thing. That is what we are talking about, or rather, I'm talking about song, and it's I just hope it's not misinterpreted that we're talking about physical fights and all that, because that's just rubbish.
Yeah, man, it happens sometimes. Because the thing is, it is the reality. Because, like I said earlier, when you say things like diss tracks and so on, yes, one point in time it was part of the culture of hip hop itself. Diss track was a common thing. You say something, I say something, but it came to a certain point that it got a little too extreme. Even in the local scene, especially, everyone is trying their level best just to make, to gain publicity. There was one point of that time that happened. I knew a couple of hip hop outfits or other bands were doing that for a certain time of point of time. But right now, well, it's a bit different. Now it's more about fun-loving, party-going kind of feel going on with the hip hop songs out there, right or not? I think it is, man.
Yeah, Sorry?
We seem to be having a bit of network issues down here, right?
Okay. Can you just hang on for 1 second? Let me just check my...
Yeah, no worries at all. But in the meantime, for those who are listening into this particular broadcast, remember, if you want to get in touch with Vix, all you have to do, or rather, take a listen to this track, QHAPLA JINGGA. All you need to do is just head on to Spotify, because it's available down there. It's on Spotify and all the other major platforms, Amazon Music, Apple, iTunes, and many other places too. And not only that, it's also available on YouTube. That's right. If you're looking to take a listen to the lyrics, you can check it out over there. And I got another few minutes with Vix, but what I need to know is, Vic, the first things first, you made a comeback after a short break, as rather a couple of years. The first track that you released it in Malay. Why is that?
Yep. So Malay, you see, I speak Malay pretty fluently, right? And the thing is, it's a beautiful language in a sense. It is sort of like designed to be, to be poetic, and to enable literature to be written in that language.
Okay.
And for me, there are very few languages that can do that. Malay is one of it. Tamil, and maybe some of the Western languages, but most, I think, Asian languages are designed for it because there's a whole lot of literature, and I think Malay is one of it because when you write and when you do songs in Malay, and when you listen to it, it has so much of energy to it. I mean, let's take M. Nasir's Menteras Merah Padi, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Right, when you listen to that, even until today, when I listen to that song, it gives me goosebumps.
Yeah, it's true.
So, yeah, it has that much power to it, and that's why I chose to write this song in Malay.
I think being poetic is very important also. That's the whole idea of rap, rhythm and poetry. So that's the whole idea. Instead of just having it on, what can I say? It's, what's the word for it? The best word for it? Instead of just some random words, right? Just in the common languages that we use here and there. But anyway, another thing that I also noticed is that you are out with the lyrical video. Any plans of shooting a full-fledged music video for this track?
Yeah, I am. It's in the pipeline. But then again, with this MCO and all that going on, to be on site to shoot and all that might be a little bit of a challenge. So we're looking at ways to how we can sort of circumvent all of this, or perhaps maybe we can try to see if we can get when I say we, it's really just me and maybe a friend who's holding the camera, to see if we can go and get some approval from the because if I do a video, I'm planning to shoot it in Penang, and so I probably need approval from the state government and stuff, whether it would be allowed, right? So let's see how it goes, but I'm very, very keen on.
I thought these days just take your camera wrong, just shoot some videos, and then once no one's watching, if some authorities come, then you start running. Those kind of things.
Yeah.
I did a couple of that before when I was working in the production side.
I could try that. I hope I can run fast enough.
Yeah, tak ada bang, tak boleh ke bang? I thought boleh. I see.
Tahu.
Dia cakap boleh. Siapa cakap itu orang bang? Itu tinggi-tinggi punya orang. We used to do that back in the days, man. That was interesting. But please tell me also, I mean, music video is one thing. Please tell me that you have a follow-up track for all the for after QHAPLA JINGGA, because don't tell me you're one of the guys who's going to come out with one track 1 year and then take a break another few years and come back again. Please tell me you're not going to do that.
Well, I really hope I don't end up like that. But then again, when I look at it and the amount of money I've invested in this whole studio thing, because it was not cheap paying for the DAW, the software to begin with, and then I invested in all these monitor speakers and all this other tiny stuff that may seem for some people may not make any sense, but I've invested this money, and I'm not looking to get that money back, but I need to make good use of these tools, right?
Okay.
So these tools are to fuel my passion. It's like someone who loves to play the guitar, who's not putting out a song, but he invests in a really good, what do you call that? The Ibanez or whatever, expensive guitar out there. Just because they want to play it, it's a passion. So it's the same thing here. Now, if my songs do indeed, I indeed make some money out of it, great. If it doesn't, I'll still do it for the passion. And yes, I am looking to put more tracks out there. I mean, to answer the question very simply.
Please, thank you very much. I'm begging, because I'll be very honest with you. I had chat with so many bands before. It's like, it gets to you. It's like once you start liking something so much, you start falling in love with it. You have that fresh feel. Finally, you think like, okay, the kind of music that I can blend into, I can gel into, and then they disappear. It's like, no, I don't see you again for the next 1 year. So then to build up the interest again, to get back the interest again is difficult, man.
Yeah, because it happened to me. I believe I know. When I was in the studio the last time, I think we spoke about it. When Vandal interviewed me, that was the time I came up with "I'm Back," and then I never came back until now.
I won't be back. I'll
Yeah.
be back, but not too sure when.
but not sure when. Yeah. So
Yeah.
again, I don't think I want to let that happen again, because that time, someone did the beat for me. I went to the studio, recorded. I of course paid for the services, the mastering and whatever not. But this time around, I have this equipment, everything around me. So if I don't make use of it, it's probably going to be a waste, lah.
Yeah, so at least, because the thing is, technology has moved on to advance. It's gone way advanced than what we expected. Things are much, much more easier. Like even this particular podcast show, if I was talking about this about 5 to 10 years ago, the cost of setting up the whole thing, dude, I would be dead broke. I would have sold my house, my car, my kidney just to run a show like this, dude.
Oh, yeah.
But now
Yep,
everything's at the fingertips, and all the softwares available, the tutorials on YouTube's. So it is a opportunity for many people out there to get back, and so there's no excuses for not making music or not doing creating content. So that's where I look forward for. And the good thing about MCO, like I told every other guest on the show, is that it gave you the time to sit down and think, evaluate what you've been doing, and creating opportunities to come up with more great stuff. And this year alone, I think we've seen a lot stuff,
Yep.
a lot of stuff that came out this year.
Yeah, I think there definitely this MCO for some people, and I'm going to be very careful when I say this. For some people, it has been a silver lining, and whether we're talking about in a sense of music or creative content, it may have been a silver lining. So and also, for the people who are really affected by the pandemic, the ones who lost their jobs and all that, I know people who are really struggling right now. So that's why I say, I'm going to say this very carefully. For people who have done creative content like this, I think the MCO has been a silver lining for them. It definitely has for me.
Yeah, it depends. It depends how you want to look at the whole situation. Half glass, half empty, or half full. That's how things are supposed to be. But it is good, and I'm looking forward for more of it. And I know you're running out of time because you have something very, very important to take place. Like I said, I don't want to mention it on this whole show right now, but and I know that is the most crucial moment of your life. I've experienced that many, many times. I can't share with anybody out there. But what I can tell everybody is that, once again, if you like to check out the track called QHAPLA JINGGA, it is available on Spotify, Amazon Music, iTunes, and every other platform you can think of. And if you want to watch the lyrical video, it's on YouTube. And the most important thing is you do have to click on the subscribe button, like the video, share it. If you're on Spotify, follow Instagram. Vix is on Instagram too, right? You're a social media person, aren't you?
Of course.
Okay,
very
so
much.
you can find him VixStar. That's VixStarR. Very easy to spell. Double R. Okay. Same goes on his
that's
Facebook.
on Instagram. Facebook
Yeah,
is a
same-
little bit different.
Facebook was it?
Facebook. Yeah, I've got an artist page, so it's VixStar, VixStarR MY Malaysia MY.
Ah, okay. All right, so you can check that out also. So go make sure to share it as much as possible. Dude, before I let you go, anything you'd like to share with the people out there, our viewers, audience? And I'm pretty sure I can hear the voices in the back right now. People screaming and thanking you for explaining what's QHAPLA JINGGA all about.
Well, yeah, first up, of course, Nav, thank you for having me on the show.
It's a
And
pleasure,
also, the next thing, I got to thank all the people out there who, have shared, who have liked, and, who have dropped me comments saying that they really like the song and so on. This is, for me, probably, the pinnacle of, I would say some amount of success, right? For a completely independent artist to put the work out there, to do the promo yourself, to do everything yourself, and you got these people who have listened to it and really like the work that you've done and start sharing your work. I think that this is the biggest form of payment. We're not talking about money, but a form of payment for an artist. So
Very
I
true.
think I thank everyone out there, and of course to my family, my wife. She has been absolutely supportive of this whole thing since the beginning. Especially packing the kids and sending them up to their own room.
That's the biggest one, man.
That's the biggest one. Yeah. So yeah, I just like to say thank you, and I'm just grateful for everything that has happened for this song so far.
Thanks a lot, man. And once again, thank you very, very much, Vix. Amazing track, QHAPLA Jinggga. Check it out right now. Make sure to share it. And for our friends outside of Malaysia, if you don't understand the lyrics, don't worry. It's just like listening to something from a Latino track, a Latino hip hop, or maybe some French hip hop. You don't understand a single word, but you can just vibe or groove to it. So that's the track class. So check it out right now. It's available, and like I said earlier, all major platforms. Vix, thank you so much. Thank you very, very much. I'll wish you all the best, man. I'm looking forward for your next single, dude.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure to be on your show now.
Thank you, dude.